last week?
I was out daddy duty. Daddy duty.
I don't hear on daddy. Carolina and NC State play you over there, right?
No, I wasn't there.
Come on back home to Durham, brother.
I didn't do any of those games, anything last week. I was off. I was on daddy duty.
I got social media too. I watch you.
Hey, check me out, baby. Check me out. But I know you had an extra 15 minutes for that lunch, though. I know that much, Coach. So give us those sound bites, baby. That's what we gave that for you. We want them sound bites this year.
There we go. Let's get it, man. What we got? Y'all ready?
We're ready. We're ready, Coach. We are recording, so good. Coach, congratulations again on the big win Saturday night, 28-13 over North Carolina A&T. If you could just open up with some thoughts on that contest.
Oh man, it was an outstanding weekend. I thought Duke Mayo did a great job of sponsoring the classic, and I thought it was first class. Everything was smooth from the time we left Durham to the time we got back home. But hard fought game. We played a great football team in North Carolina A&T, and we knew it was going to be a tough test. But it was good to finally get that monkey off our back after I guess it was 6 years now of not defeating them. But I thought our kids played really hard. I thought we executed, and still got a lot of stuff that we had to clean up. But for the most part, I thought we played a solid game.
And it would have been just as much had you won in Durham. But can you talk about the experience overall for the student athletes, not just in the game, being able to play at an NFL venue, but the other events surrounding it? They had a chance to meet Bubba Wallace, and just give us some thoughts on the overall experience.
Right. We had an opportunity to go to Michael Jordan and those guys' shop over, I think it was Lake Norman, where they build the NASCARs and work on them and design them and all that stuff. And the team did get an opportunity to meet Bubba Wallace and see how that operation goes. And it was something, man. I'd never seen that before. And it was just a great experience. And that's, when we recruit our student athletes, that's what we try to tell them is, they're going to get great experiences. They're going to go places they've never been before. And, it's more than just athletics or just education. It's the social aspect of developing our young student athletes. But it was, obviously playing in the Carolina Panther Stadium was a great opportunity for our student athletes as well. So I can't say enough about the Classic. I've been a part of a lot of big ones, and I thought it was first class.
And we'll open up to questions.
Coach, I'm probably the only one on here that saw you play against Winston-Salem State back in the day. What is that rivalry like now? I know you guys don't play every year, but what's your take on that as the Rams come to Durham?
When I was in school, that was just as big as North Carolina A&T. And I think it kind of, that we were both in the same conference, CIAA. I don't know what the student athletes are kind of dwindled off a little bit because of the change of conference and us being FCS and them being Division II. But I know as far as the fans are concerned, it's still a huge rivalry. And our guys have to understand the importance of this game. Because like last year, they came in ready to roll and they had us on our heels in the fourth quarter and we had to pull it out late. So we will not underestimate these folks when they come in here. We know they're going to be, ready to roll and we have to match their intensity.
Coach JB here. Can you speak on the challenges you'll have this week of bringing your guys back down and understanding that what happened on Saturday night, how big of a win that was, obviously against your arch rival, and just putting that in the past and moving on to the goals you have, for the season and refocusing for this week? What were the challenges you think you'll face with this roster? Well,
they enjoyed it obviously Saturday night on the way back on the bus. We watched film, made corrections, and they were excited. They were on a high. But at the same time, they know that that's over and done with. That was one game. That was the first thing I told them after we got in the locker room. You look last year, we beat Alcorn and the MEAC SWAC, which everybody thought was a big game, and they wanted to crown us champions. We had a few injuries, and then we ended up second in our conference. So regardless of who we're playing, we're looking to improve every week by week.
Coach, would you like to see this game with Winston-Salem State continue as long as obviously they keep coming to you guys? I mean, it's a good gate, obviously, too, and I know they're Division II, but what's your take on that and keeping this maybe going for a while?
Yeah, I would definitely love to play Winston. I mean, I know we have Fayetteville State here, and I'm all about the rivalries. Fayetteville State is some of rivalry as well. I would love to play these schools that were within, an hour radius from us. I think, obviously, when you look at budget and budget restrictions, obviously that helps. I don't want to go all the way up to New Hampshire again to go play somebody when we could play somebody within our region. And obviously we could help them out with their, travel expenses, and it'll be a payday for them as well. But it'll be good for them, obviously, to play FCS school. It'll be great for us to pack our stadium and let our fans see a traditional rivalry.
If you could, please use the raise hand feature so we're not talking over one another. And I see our first hand raise is from Lawrence Davis from Spectacular Magazine. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're doing well today.
I'm well, Lawrence. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to talk a little bit about Winston. I know they're pretty solid on the run game. Have you talked to your team about gap discipline, and how does a game like, playing a team like A&T kind of help prepare you for a team like Winston?
Yeah, you got to stop the run first and foremost. And I thought, we did an outstanding job of that this past weekend. We improved tremendously over the past, this year, over the past 2 years. But, it's about being fundamentally and technically sound. And you have to be, have eye discipline and stay in your gap, whichever, whether it's A gap, B gap, or C gap. So that's going to be huge. And that's where Coach Cord emphasis the most is stopping the run. We don't think people can beat us in the air passing the ball. Obviously, last weekend, A&T did have quite a few yards in the air passing, but that was late after we shut down their rushing attack. So we had to try to make teams one-dimensional, take away the run, and make them pass the ball.
Awesome. Thank you.
Up next is Chris Clark. Go ahead, Chris.
Coach, kind of piggybacking off of that, their quarterback, Richard Latimer, obviously can be pressured into making some mistakes there, but he can also make some pretty big plays. How do you game plan for somebody that's kind of inconsistent like that?
Oh, I guess we just have to be sound in what we do. And you don't want to underestimate anybody or say that what he can't do, because he might come in here and turn it out. So we're going to prepare for him like we about to face Michael Vick or John Elway. It doesn't matter. We have to be disciplined and we have to be sound. So again, it's not about who we're playing. It's about us. And as long as we do what we're supposed to do, I think we'll be just fine.
And if I could just follow up real quick, we're talking about a squad that just doesn't know when to give up either. I mean, the game they played against Central, they kept coming back. It's like that person that you beat down, but no matter what, they keep coming back. What do you have to get you guys ready for a game like that? Because they're not going away.
You talking about Winston? We beat them down. They beat the crap out of us for 3 quarters last year. I mean, I just got finished watching the tape from last year again. We still haven't stopped them. So I don't know, I don't know about anybody beating anybody down. If anybody got beat down, it was us. And we were in desperation mode last year trying to pull that game out. So thank God we punched it in with, I think, about a minute and a half left. But we were losing the whole game. I think that was the only lead we had. We were up 3-0. And then after that, that was the only lead that we had the rest of the game. So we better not take these guys lightly, or we're going to get our butts kicked.
I was talking about the game they just played against Central State there, but that answer was perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Very perfect. Thank you, Coach.
It was a different Central. Up next, John Dale from Winston-Salem Journal. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, piggybacking off what JB asked earlier, how do you avoid that letdown factor? You've been coaching a while now. Is there something you say, or is it just by their actions in practice that you make sure they don't have a letdown?
I think it's the standard. In each room, we have a standard. Each room, whether it's running backs, receivers, tight ends, O-line, they have 3 things that are must. And, we're not going to deviate from that. So it's a certain way we're going to practice. It's a certain intensity that we're going to practice, during practice. Attention to details during the meetings. So it doesn't matter if we're playing Hillside High School or the New York Giants. We're going to prepare the same way, and the guys have to be locked in. But we're not going to deviate from our standard.
And what's your relationship with Coach Massey? I know he's a Central alum, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Massey, Central alum. He played on probably the second best secondary to come through Central. I'm not going to tell you who the first one was. But Massey and I, we're really good friends. Our families are very close as well. When I first got into Central as a player back in the mid-'90s, he took me under his wing, and he used to always come back and visit, from the NFL. And we were always our back end, even the alum, were very close. We remained friends, and we were on staff here together under Rod Broadway back in the mid-2000s. So we've known each other for 25 years, I guess. And we talk all the time.
He played without a face mask, though.
He can fold his helmet up and put it in his back pocket, too. Right.
Chris Clark. Go ahead, Chris.
It's comedy. I like this one, man. This is a lot different than what we normally get. I wanted to ask you about facing
That's
up.
because my sugar low, Chris. I haven't eaten lunch yet.
What?
And I got my family outside trying to get some lunch, man. So
Last question I'll ask you. It's about their wide receiver, RJ. Obviously, he can go for big yards. Is that somebody that you just let get his, or do you shade some help that way to try and stop that kind of a weapon, Coach?
we'll have some stuff in our game plan if we need to use it. I think that I like our back end. I think Brandon Codrington has been solid. They tried to go at him, last week with A&T's bigger receivers, and I thought he competed well. Juan Hudson, he's been solid, all throughout the year as well. And I'm coming out of spring. And then we have Romeo Stansel, I thought had an amazing game. The last 3 plays of the game, they went in him 3 plays in a row coming off the bench. And, he didn't even start this game, but he was defensive player of the game. And I love the way he competed. I thought the receiver came down with that, the third down ball, but he fought to the end and got the ball out. So it's good to see guys competing back there. And I think we can handle those guys, one-on-one. If not, we will, provide those guys some help.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck. And a little disappointed there was no mayonnaise dunk after the game, but
or a trophy. I didn't get that either. We didn't get a trophy. I did get a nice Yeti though. They gave me a real nice Yeti cooler, and we got the dub. So as long as we got the dub, and I got, we got to walk out there with the win. That's all that counts.
All right. Next question is from Rob Connect. Go ahead, Rob.
There you go.
Rob, you're
Hey,
on.
Coach. There we go. Hey, Coach, just want to introduce myself. I'm going to be doing play-by-play for the game and for all the games here this season. So I want to introduce myself. Looking forward to covering you guys. I know just talking with you guys here for the last few minutes, talking about, not going away from your game plan for this week, but I'm kind of interested to know individually if you could point out some players who impressed you in your opening win last week, and then maybe some guys that you're looking to step up here this week against Winston-Salem.
Well, I've seen these guys for a while, so I kind of have expectations and know what guys are able of doing. But I think one guy that really surprised me was Jaden Flaker, freshman, linebacker. He had the big block punt, had a couple of big tackles on special teams. He was one guy that really stood out, and that block punt was huge. That changed the game, the momentum of the game. But I think Zai Simpson is an offensive lineman that we brought in. We knew he was talented, but he's really come in and add some more physicality to our offensive line. Our tight end core is relatively young, but Kyle Morgan still had a good game, and yeah, that's about it. But I was pleased with the guys' overall performance. Lord, Pee Wee, who's my tight end? Pee Wee. Excuse me. Luke Bracey. Right, I had a senior moment, guys. I'm so sorry. Luke Bracey. He came in and provided quality reps at tight end position. And he's phenomenal. He's so athletic, big guy, and he's definitely going to be one of the better tight ends to come through North Carolina Central.
Go ahead, John Dale.
Yeah, you were talking about players, and that reminded me. Max Uran, redshirt freshman linebackers from Mount Tabor here in Winston-Salem. I think he had 5 tackles. What's been his progression like? He redshirted last year, and seems like he's going to be playing a little bit more this year. Right.
Max came in as a walk-on. He ended up earning a scholarship. He's in the rotation. We play quite a few linebackers back there. So he has a great feel of the defense, and he's really pretty much the quarterback of the defense. So he's come a long way since his freshman year. And, it's a testament to the coaching staff and what they've done, as well as our strength coach, because he's really changed his body. And he had a solid game as well.
Coach, coming up next, we have quarterback Davius Richard. Can you talk about him and his performance on Saturday and just overall what he means to the program?
That guy's special, and I can't say enough about him. You always talk about all the coaches talk and all this stuff, but I mean, great person. Obviously, he is who he is on film, and can throw the football, is athletic and all that stuff. But it's a great person off the field. Is very involved in the community with community service activities. Over a 3.5 GPA. He's an all-around great person. But on the field, I think that the one thing I'm so pleased with is his decision making as far as taking care of the football. A lot of guys will get locked in on a receiver or a favorite target or in a concept, regardless of what they get, they want to throw the ball deep. But he goes through his progression and he takes what the defense gives him, whether it's the deep ball or the check down to the running back or the third progression wide receiver. So, and you look at the stats, I think we had about 8 different guys that had receptions. So we're not just locking in on person. And I think, Coach Leone's done an outstanding job with having them prepared with that. But not forcing the ball and just taking what the defense gives you. Everything's, covered. He can hurt you with his feet as well. But I was really pleased. I thought that we had a game plan for him to run the ball. I thought there were some things that we could really take advantage of this past weekend. But, we didn't want to run him too much. But I think the couple times we called his number on design running plays, he picked up quite a few positive yards.
Great. Any other questions for Coach Oliver? If not,
Yeah, what you craving for lunch, Coach, since we took that away from you today?
I think it might be either a chicken salad sandwich or a chicken salad salad. I'm not sure yet. I was leaning towards chicken salad today. I don't know. What did you have for lunch today?
I had breakfast, actually. I had some.
You just got out of bed?
No, I had breakfast. I cooked breakfast this morning, man. I made some bacon and grits.
At 11:30?
It was around 11 a.m. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, come on, Coach.
Man.
Cut me some slack. I didn't get home from work last night till 1 a.m. Cut me a little bit of slack. I work these nights and weekends.
Come on.
I work
Easy,
these
big
nights
fella.
and
You
weekends.
ain't gonna win this with JB.
Easy, big fella. We got home from Charlotte about 4 o'clock in the morning. I was in the office at 9. Come on, big fella.
All right, boss. You got it, boss. You got it.
Hey, let me bring somebody else up here, man. Y'all ready for Pee Wee?
yeah.
Give me a drum roll, JB.
Let's get it.
All right, champ.
How's it going, Davies?
Good morning.
Hey, Lonnie, could you, pan up or tilt up so we can see all of Pee Wee? Oh, here we go again. We got to. Oh.
He's a little taller than Coach.
Yeah, just a little bit. There you go. Good.
Right there. That's the money shot.
That's it right there. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here, Davies. If you could just share your opening thoughts about Saturday.
I have some opening thoughts over the overall weekend. We left kind of like a Thursday. I think they did a good job of just like providing us the experience. Like Coach Oliver said earlier, we was able to go to the 2311 warehouse where they do the NASCAR stuff. And that was the first time I ever been like around the NASCAR, been in that type of environment, was able to meet Bubba Wallace. So it was just an overall good experience. Put us in a good hotel, fed us good all the way up until Saturday. And then just the layout of the field and stuff at the Plymouth Stadium was just a good experience. And then the game, we came out with a dub, so that was a good overall experience also.
Very good. Can you talk about what it was like to play in Bank of America Stadium? Is that the first time you played in an NFL stadium and the largest crowd you played in front of?
Yeah, that's the first time I played in NFL stadium. I'm actually just grateful that I was able to do it because, a lot of kids playing football grow up always big goal is to go to the NFL or be able to play in the NFL stadium. And it's just a blessing to say that I was able to play in the NFL stadium before even making it to the NFL. So I was just like thankful for the opportunity.
Were you aware kind of the atmosphere that was going on? And at what point did you really lock into the game?
I really was locked in before. I didn't really play too much. Mind of the crowd and the noise and stuff. But it was just one. It was one point of the game going into the fourth quarter when it was transitioning from the third to fourth when they turned off the lights, and then you could see you just look around, all the fans had their flashlights on their phones, and it was just like a surreal feeling. And then at that point, I kind of stuck out of the game for a little bit, but I had to lock back in. But it was just like a surreal feeling.
That was really cool. All right, we'll get to some questions here. Lawrence Davis, go ahead, Lawrence.
What's up, Hugh? How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm good. Talk about how the game has slowed down for you over the last, a couple of years, and coming into this year, how has the game, started to progress for you mentally?
Transition been good. Coming in my freshman year was kind of fast. Coming from high school to college, just seeing new looks and new type of players, bigger, faster players. But over the past few years, it has slowed down, especially thanks to Coach Leone being a big press on me, being in the film room, try to perfect and practice. So just being used to it, getting used to it, seeing same defense, seeing different defense over the years, kind of helped the game slow down.
And then I know after the game, I know you were going around, dapping up a lot of the defensive players. They played their hearts out. Kind of talk about their performance this past weekend and the respect you have for those guys. They out there, putting it on the line every play.
And you talking about our defense or A&T?
Central's defense.
Oh, yeah, because I say, man, just been around those guys the whole summer. Not even the whole summer, it's the whole year since January when we came off on winter break. Just seeing those guys in and out the weight room, on and off the field, just putting in work consistently, and it just it's amazing to see the work pay off. So I commend those guys, those 11 guys that was on the field at the time. They really put blood, sweat, and tears that nobody seen behind the scenes until they was able to showcase it on Saturday.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Next question from JB Ricks. Go ahead, JB.
Hey, what's going on? Appreciate you taking out this time. I actually have a two-part question for you in regards to last year's game against Winston-Salem State. What do you remember about that, and what can you take from it to apply for this year's matchup?
One main thing, I didn't play that game, so I can remember that. But I did watch it from the sideline, and then just seeing one big thing I could take away from that is they got some dogs over there. They got a lot of relentless players. They don't give up on the play. They play to the whistle ends. For what I remember, the D-line was pretty vicious. Got some big guys up front, good back end, and a good front seven for real. So overall, it was just a solid defense from what I seen from the sideline and my point of view. So I know I'm in for a fight this weekend.
Yeah, and Coach Oliver actually just got done speaking about how, he felt like you guys were getting beat through three quarters in that game, and then you finally found a way to win it towards the end. And you guys are coming off a huge win. You're coming off a win against your biggest rival, and there's obviously a lot of celebration that's going to come off of that. So how are you and your fellow teammates going to handle, coming down from that high and getting refocused for what's ahead for the rest of the season, starting with Winston-Salem?
I don't think it's going to be too hard because I already hear a lot of the guys, even Saturday night or the Sunday mornings, they already say, just enjoy this win for the time being. But once practice comes, we on to the next. Like, we taking it day by day, game by game. So I guess a lot of the guys on the team already know, like, we won the game, but it's not the end. It's just the beginning.
Appreciate you. Good luck this Saturday.
Thank you.
Next question is from Chris Clark. Go ahead, Chris.
There we go. Wanted to drill down on that secondary that you're going to be facing there. There's two guys in particular, Justin and Jalen, managed 3 picks against pretty decent offense in Central just last night. Wanted to ask you what you were seeing for that, what you have to prepare for, and basically not taking them lightly.
Like I said, from what I seen last year, they had some dogs over there in the back end. They had one corner that graduated. I forgot his name. I want to say number 9. But, it's nothing new. I know they got dogs back there. They got playmakers just like we do. So as long as I go in with the game plan and just stay within my elements, I think I'll be pretty fine.
Thank you.
All right, next question from Rob Connect. Go ahead, Rob.
Hey, Davius, I know you were talking about how awesome it was to play at Bank of America Stadium. last weekend. But I want to get your thoughts on what it means to you and how important it is to finally come back at home in front of your home crowd under the lights this Saturday night. How excited are you?
Ooh, man, it's gonna feel amazing. We had a big fan base come out there to Charlotte to the game this weekend. So I just can imagine how it's gonna look this weekend at home when they don't got to travel 100+ miles, when they just can wake up. A lot of students just wake up out their dorms, walk down the street at the stadium. Fans wake up out their homes, drive 5-10 minutes to the stadium. They right there. So I'm pretty excited. I'm anxious for real to see the fans, how they pack out the nest to this Saturday. So I just I can't wait for real.
Good.
After Saturday's game, I saw some comparisons online to Cam Newton since you were in Bank of America Stadium. What do you think of that? And is there a quarterback that you kind of model your game after?
I mean, I appreciate the comparisons and stuff, but if there was only one Cam Newton, if you being realistic, like it's going to be hard to duplicate what he did, at Auburn and in the NFL and stuff like that. And modeling my game after a quarterback-wise, really, I don't got one particular quarterback. I kind of just like to pick itsy bits from different quarterbacks, just like Tom Brady, his winning mentality, his decision-making, or just like Kyler Murray, his elusiveness, or Lamar Jackson, his shiftiness. So just try to pick bits and pieces from every quarterback and see how I can mold it into my game.
And it looks like John, is your hand up there? John, you got a question for Davius? Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. I noticed you're kind of a soft speaker, soft-spoken guy. How do you lead? What's your way of leading the team, as a quarterback?
Yeah, I don't talk as much or do all the rah-rah, loud speeches and stuff like that. So my way of leading is by example. And a lot of guys in the program know that already. They knew that I'm not the vocal type of guy, speak when needed. So a lot of my actions that I do, I make sure I be very mindful of what I do and what I showcase, because I know I lead by example, by my work ethic, by what I go in and do. So when I speak, they'll actually pay attention. They'll really lock in because they know if I speak, it got to be something important. So my leadership kind of a lead by example, like action.
Just like Kyle.
Depends on who you ask. So I've got to ask you this because I know we've talked about it, but since we're on this platform, can you explain where the nickname Pee Wee comes from?
It came from my mom. She had gave it to me when I was a kid. I want to say she got it from a TV show. Last time I asked her what she said. But it came up here because when Coach came down there to visit, came around my aunt and my mom and stuff. They were calling me Pee Wee. Then once I came on my official visit up here with my aunt, she was calling me Pee Wee all around. Then it kind of just stuck. That what staff heard, Coach Oliver heard, and they just followed me here. I mean, I got no problem with it. I was raised on that name, heard it a lot. So as long as they family, they can call me that.
And Chris Clark, you got a question? Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, that's not so much about the game coming up, but it's to ask a question about one of my relatives who's watching you all play, and then saw where you went to high school and wanted me to ask you, did you catch the rabbit down there in preseason?
I went rabbit hunting a couple of times, but I was always the fastest. Well, actually, it ain't got nothing to do with speed for real, because I can show you somebody, an offensive lineman down there, he'll go down there and catch 30 rabbits. Yeah, I'm telling you, it gets crazy. Like, it's an experience. But I went to rabbit hunt a couple of times. It's just like the muck. It's really just an exercise, but it's fun to do. Like, you don't second guess if people get up 6 o'clock in the morning just to go out there to catch it when the field's on fire to catch the rabbits coming out. So yeah, it's like really a lifestyle. And there's a lot of people do that. It just really takes skills and not even like endurance thing or a shiftiness that can help, but at the same time, it really skills. Because like I said, I know a couple of linemen down there that I played with. He'll go out there, catch 30 rabbits, barely moving.
What does he scare him to death? Just out of curiosity, or what?
Really, it's just like you got to be precise, because sometimes they stand at the edge of the cane field with a stick, and once the field burning from the backside, they force the rabbits to run towards you. So he'll sit right there with the stick, wait till they come out, hit the rabbit, or stuff like that. Sometimes he'll chase it. It's just like different ways you can do it, but like that's the most common way that he's been doing it.
All right, I owe you lunch. NIL deal. Don't want to get him in trouble, Kyle. We'll make that work because you just settled a bet with yours truly. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm gonna stop talking. We'll do this off camera. So thank you.
That sounds like a whole nother story right there. I never heard about that. That is great.
That's the Glade, baby.
Yeah.
But
And I heard the term muck, and they used that on the broadcast the other day too. Where does that come from?
come from the soil. If you want to search out like Begley or Pahokee, we're known for our soil. Like they grow a lot of cane and stuff like that because the soil is rich. And I'm trying to remember the saying. The soil is her fortune or something like that. But yeah, that's why it's called the muck. It's because the soil is rich down there.
That's great. All right, we got a little bit off topic, but that was fun. That was good. Anybody have any other final questions for Davius? All right. Well, congratulations on the big win and best wishes this weekend. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us.
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
Thanks. Take care. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here.
Thanks, Kyle.
All right,
Thanks,
John.
Kyle.
We'll see you this weekend.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, everybody.